Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam. Trying to fix the lighting.
Yeah, now it is better, Prabhuji.
Huh?
Now it is little better, Prabhuji.
How can I do better? Still better.
No, that lighting, the background lighting, I'm telling.
Okay. Okay. I'll switch off that light.
Okay, Prabhu. Are you okay, Prabhuji? Can we start, Prabhu? Perfect, Prabhuji. Okay. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very glad to have the association of our temple president, Grace Narahari Chaitanya Prabhu, who will be sharing the mood and the mood of Srila Prabhupada while he composed the prayers, the famous prayers in the ship Jalajuta. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to discuss the journey of Srila Prabhupada's very important prayer and important journey which Srila Prabhupada started on his mission of establishing ISKCON today, worldwide movement today. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschapya Deshatarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangulangayate grim chakrabatamam vande Shri Guru Jnanayam Paramananda Madhavam Chaitanya Ishwaram. So, this is how big it is, or I have this. Okay.
I can zoom it, Prabhuji, a little bit.
You want to do zoom it?
Yeah.
For everybody to see. Huh?
Is it better, Prabhuji, now?
Huh?
Is it better, Prabhuji, now? Is it readable now?
Yeah. I'll do one thing. You just what do you call it? Wait, there's some problem. I don't. What is happening? Okay. It's all right now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So I think this is the 5th stanza, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Srila Prabhupada's just before going to the 5th. So this Jaladuta prayers is nothing but a voyage of compassion. Prabhupada talks about the journey to the western abode of Jaladuta, the epitome of pure devotee's compassion. His disciples comment on that. So whenever a big leader, big acharya, when they make their notes and keep, it's very, very important that we preserve it. And Srila Prabhupada comments on one of his purports that how he used to make some notes and keep. So in that sense, if you see these prayers of Jaladuta is so important, and it became a diary. So what are the events which happened is, Srila Prabhupada says, how did he go through? I'll just list out some points, which says the Swamiji was too old to go to United States. So that is one heading. Then there is another heading that, oh, they say if Swamiji is going to go there, he is going to die. Then what is Srila Prabhupada going to do about when he goes there? He is determined to live on boiled potatoes and cereal. Then boards the Jaladuta, that is a cargo carrier, which generally we don't do. Then on the way he had 2 heart attacks. And suddenly what happened next is Lord Krishna is rowing the boat, everything became cool and calm. A calm Atlantic Ocean. Then Jaladuta reaches Boston. So if you go through all this, you will find then Jaladuta diary, each one explained how Srila Prabhupada was going through, how much difficulty he had in convincing people. But his determination was so strong to fulfill the mission of his spiritual master. So any amount of trouble, including the 2 heart attacks, did not shake him up. So determination means Srila Prabhupada's commitment. That you can simply take if you want a dictionary meaning, what is determination? You don't have to see in the dictionary. You can see Prabhupada's life. So determination is that. So in that process, what he has established, and every act of his is noted down through the Leelamrit. Different devotees have commented, made notes. So many books are coming up. So everything of Srila Prabhupada's relationship with his own disciples, privately, and the temples. So all this is nothing but another Bhagavatam for us. Because when we go through the Bhagavatam stories, Bhagavatam past, and it's nothing but a amalgamation of all exalted pure devotees and their relation among themselves, or or the Lord himself. So all these things we have to look at on the whole. So when we are understanding Srila Prabhupada through his books, especially Leelamrit or the Bhagavatam, you can see the overall point was he was keeping Krishna in the center. But that center was, he was acknowledging to his spiritual master only. So that is important. Okay, now we accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, but who showed us the path? He becomes more important. So these prayers, especially now, it says, Se karaya je, kari bare, agna yadi dil more, yogya nahi ati dina hina, thai se tumara kripa, magitiche anurupa, aji tumi sambara pravina. Although I have been ordered to accomplish this mission, I possess no qualification to do it, being very fallen and incapable. since you are the best of all, and now I beg for you your mercy so that I can become worthy. So from this happened when was 1965, and now it is 2023 and almost. So how many years? Almost more than 50 years. And Prabhupada writing at that time, and what are we today? And Srila Prabhupada's compassion when he's writing this. So if you correlate all that, everything is pramana, where Srila Prabhupada was explaining that I can see many temples at that time itself. But say a true devotee, a pure devotee can see at the same time he is humble enough. So to know about the humility of this aspect, we should know from Chaitanya Charitamrita itself, where Lord Chaitanya, how he has this feeling of his humility. So when you acknowledge our success to the people who build us up, and that's what is seen here from Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So what is he talking about? I am the most fallen. I am the most incapable person. So where is this thing coming up? He's coming from his spiritual master or his spiritual master. So if you go backwards in Chaitanya Madhyalila 24th chapter, you can come where Lord Chaitanya is, what's happening with Lord Chaitanya. Prakashanandara Prabhu, Vandile Charana, Prakashanandana Asi Thanera Dharila Charana. The moment that Kirtan was going on, after it stopped, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he met Prakashananda Saraswati, all his devotees there. What happened? There, immediately after the Kirtan, Lord Chaitanya went and accepted, he was holding Prakashananda Saraswati's lotus feet. So, at the same time, how Prakashananda Saraswati immediately claps Lord's lotus feet. So you can see the humility of Lord from there only. Actually, if you see in Bhagavad Gita, the first aspect of the qualities is coming from the Bhagavad Gita. He's talking about humility is the first thing. So what is the real humility in Bhagavad Gita? He is listing that. The first item of knowledge. So any amount of what you call our growth, how we are in case of becoming famous. First, if the knowledge of that goes to our head, then along with that, the pride also grows along with that. But on the contrary, in a Vaishnava life, it is the more spiritual knowledge, the more he is of that kind of knowledge, but the same way you see humility also grows. So Prabhupada writes, what exactly is humility? He says, without humility, you cannot gain knowledge. That means, if you gain knowledge, then you may ask the question, okay, I'm gaining knowledge. But it doesn't register in the heart, it registers in the mind. So along with that, the pride comes. So here Prabhupada is defining humility means, if without humility, you can't gain knowledge. So when we are starting the Bhagavatam, we are glorifying so many spiritual master, and we are also our present spiritual master. Then we go ahead with that. So all of us individual jiva, we have to be, when our progress of spiritual life is there, as a person, individually, we have to, meditate on these aspects. Why do we actually require humility? Even if you go to the school, you are so humble to the teacher, you are paying respects. And also Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, please, tadvidi pranipatena paripasha. But somehow these things, goes beating around the bush. Somehow we get carried away. I'm just talking about myself. But the thing is, if these things are not highlighted, in our heart, then take up the spirituality, studying Prabhupada books, then at no point of time we become puffed up. So Prabhupada writes, so many times he is writing, if you have to take up to Krishna consciousness without developing good qualities, it is difficult to become a devotee. So again, he gives the example, many people become vegetarians, they may be gentlemen, they may be doing some social service. But all this is external aspect of the body. But for a devotee, it is internal aspect. You can take example of Mother Teresa. She's done such wonderful, she dedicated her life in saving so many people. Yes, she's done a great job. But according to Vaishnava literature, when we do Atma Seva, then that's the highest the compassion showed to another living entity. So here Srila Prabhupada is talking about, if you want to be a preacher, if you want to preach Krishna consciousness, automatically when you are going through that mood, automatically good qualities develop. Now good qualities means unless you don't meditate, let us say we take one Bhagavatam sloka, when we are going through it, you can academically understand it, you can systematically understand it, but you can also touch to your heart, you can try to realize and how you can apply that in our life. So this is what Srila Prabhupada was talking about. This is what is all about our parampara. So any amount of compassion, if it is not there and based on Krishna consciousness, then you may be a good person, you may be a gentle person, but certainly it is not according to the Vaishnava literature. So for us, we are talking about Srila Prabhupada's life, and we devotees who are progressing in this journey, the most aspect of learning the knowledge must be with humility. So that again, if you take the example of Nityananda, when he met Madai and when he was hit by that, but Nityananda showed mercy to him. So in our day-to-day life also, when we are preaching, people may not accept us just as it is. They may not. So they may abuse us or they may misinterpret us. So in so many ways it can happen. But if we are seeing external aspect, then we may get offended. But internally, when you look at that aspect, that, oh, here's a person who he thinks he was got knowledge, but that's not real knowledge. So I have to communicate this knowledge and give the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So at that time you become very humble. So here Nityananda Prabhu is asking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how can you, if you want to deliver him, you can't by killing. You have to deliver him by killing his sinful attitude. So Lord Nityananda is requesting Lord Chaitanya, please give your mercy on him so that he becomes a devotee of Lord. So the more we are looking at these aspects of life in our day-to-day progress, then the one constant endeavor for us should be that how we are keeping ourselves as a very low person. The education, if one approached a transcendental devotee on the strength of his material heritage or opulence education, but he is not a devotee at all. In the same way, if humility aspect is there, then he is accepted. So a devotee sees everybody in that spirit of, okay, he's a part and parcel of Krishna, and how I can help him out. So the more we are in the surrendered mood, the more better we are. So the present day generation, Srila Prabhupada talks about how much ever they are reading Bhagavad Gita, trying to understand different literature, because of the puffed up nature of ego, he will not be able to understand Krishna. Even though he's trying to search Krishna, but he's not able to get from there because academic interests are there, or he thinks about from the knowledge viewpoint. So a proud person, he's deceived from this transcendental understanding, he says. Despite he being guarding a human form, despite he being a big person, name, fame, everything is there. So according to Lord Chaitanya, he explains how one should be submissive and humble before a Vaishnava. Even the one may be situated in the highest platform. So such is the teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an Acharya, the supreme spiritual master and teacher. So the more we meditate on these extraordinary Acharyas, starting from Haridas Thakur, what was his mood of, even though Brahma, he realized he made a mistake. So to atone that, he took birth in a family of villagers, in a Mohammedan family. And he was so humble enough to be always in that mood of glorifying the holy name. But his determination, whatever happens to him, he would not abuse anybody, but he would take the blame on himself, but he would continue to chant Hare Krishna mantra. 22 times he was beaten, but still he was continuing his chanting the holy name. So this is how, by studying this literature, by understanding the characteristic and the extraordinary qualities, meditating on those, and praying to their lordship, praying to the spiritual master, we can also gradually, imbibe these qualities. Srila Bhaktivinoda Swami Thakur explains that a mundane person being enriched with mundane opulences, must always know that transcendental opulence of advanced devotee are more important than material opulences of a person like himself. I just repeat again. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur explains that a mundane person being enriched by a mundane opulences must always know that the transcendental opulences of advanced devotees are far more important than the material opulences of a person like himself. This you can understand by Bhakti Saraswati Thakur himself, where he was a very exalted person, very well educated. But when he was approaching Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, his humility was down to earth. He was a Pandit. In fact, Bhakti Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj knew about Bhakti Saraswati Thakur's Panditya. But nevertheless, Bhakti Saraswati never let, when he approached his own father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, you please go and approach Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj and take Diksha from him. And if you see that pastime, how many times Bhakti Saraswati Thakur went to him, and Thakur was not ready to give him initiation. So only at the time of last, when he said that I'm going to give up my life, that was the time where Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj gave him Diksha. So such pastimes, such realities which has happened, when we meditate on these things, the first thing is, it should come to us is, how can I go in this path? How can I humble myself? So this humble sense is directly related with seva. When we take up the service in the form of that servant of a servant of a servant, then what happens is, then naturally those characters manifest in us and we really become humble. One is, there is an external humbleness, humility, there is an internal humility. So the external, you may appear that you are humble, but if doesn't transmigrate to the internal aspect, it remains on the external aspect. So the more and more we look at serving somebody, try to find somebody, Prabhu, can I serve under somebody with you? So that mood always helps us to become humbler and humbler. But matter of fact, in ISKCON, there are many times we have get the opportunity, or we have given the opportunity to, to lead situations. So when we take up that leading situations, we should never become managers. We should lead by example. That's what's shown by Srila Prabhupada. When he established 108 temples all over the world, that itself shows, and down in the end of his journey, he came and said that this is what I have done. Now is everything left for you people to go forward. So at no point of time he claimed this is mine. So his Krishna conscious is all about that only. When we are progressing in sadhana bhakti, we are in Grihastha ashram or brahmachari ashram or vanaprastha, anywhere we can still get bewildered. And especially Grihastha ashram is a place where many places we are grounded with money, grounded with position, grounded with opulence. So many things come, so there is possibility. And just in contrary to that other things also happens where we are into attain problems of life. So many problems do come, but still we become ignorant and we go further. So it's a kind of an illusion created. So that can happen in brahmachari ashram also, where he becomes very knowledgeable person. He's able to communicate nicely. Then he is able to understand tattva. But the missing factor, if this humility doesn't come, he may be a good preacher, but certainly whatever he is preaching may not touch the heart of the people who are come in contact with him. That can happen in Vanaprastha also, where okay, you have given up everything, just like Bharat Maharaj. He comes, but suddenly he gets carried away. Then there is again a change. So there is no safe passage in any of the ashram, but the passage is smooth, provided we take shelter of the Supreme Lord through the parampara and we serve the parampara. In that process, we can be a successful person, because we are following them. Now in the present Acharya, so many are there after Srila Prabhupada. If you look at their own lives, each one of them is trying to serve the other gurus, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru. We find so many people coming in. Yesterday we had a devotee who was talking about Vaishnava in India. So there's so many people are experts, in practicing such things and also communicating to us and also making us learn. So these are the actual education what we have to impregnate in ourselves. So otherwise, where are we going? We may be progressing, but the anartha of that ego also goes along with that. So time and again, we are looking at the present situation where we are in, and we are trying to adjust. Okay, this is what it is. So material life means nothing but adjustments. Adjustments, not knowing what the future is. Because we are seeing the external aspect. Even for devotee, as long as we start perceiving the people around us also, even though we have responsibility of them, there is no doubt. We also have to understand that there is also another person who is caring for them. That is the Supreme Lord. But if you take the onus that, okay, I am only the protector of this country, protector of the state, protector of the organization, all this, again, we are in the circle of, that kind of attachments. So we keep going up and down. So when we are in the sadhana bhakti progressing, so we come across so many situations in life. When you start accrediting all these things, yes, this is my prarabdha karma, I have to suffer this, but we have to overcome this. And by every time correcting ourselves in this journey, slowly we come up to a situation where we are able to overcome this. And that promise is given by Krishna. That Solpam Apesya, that means Dharmasya, that means little practice, little sadhana bhakti, sadhana, little endeavor we are trying in this. Okay, I want to be a good person. I want to be a gentle person. I want to serve the society. I want to help many people who are suffering. They want to become devotees. So I've shown. So even a 0.11% we are trying to, give that time to Guru and Krishna, then that much Krishna is reciprocating with us. Because each one is coming up with some baggage of Mishra karma. So we don't know how we are going through. Somebody may be very rich, somebody among devotees I'm talking about, but how is utilizing those things? Then somebody may be very intelligent. How is he utilizing? Materially, we are no doubt we are exploiting those things. But in spiritual aspect, how we are able to do. So each one of us, if you are looking at how we can contribute something to the Srila Prabhupada's movement, a little bit, that is sufficient. That is actually the process of humility starts. Okay, I have got some time now. So how I can give it to my spiritual master? So nobody can. So in that way, we cement ourselves, in the books of Krishna, in the heart of Krishna, and Krishna is always there to protect us. So no matter is not here, the percentage does not matter. Only the endeavoring what it matters. How much we are. So as far as the grastas we are concerned, so day to day we are so much involved in so many activities. But in that, we take out some time for our spiritual master. And that is enough for getting the attraction of Krishna. We are recognized by their lordships. So this Solpamapi as Dharmasya is a very significant aspect for all of us. Even a little of Solpa Dharmasya, so Krishna is recognizing, as we see in Ramayana how the squirrel was doing. So each one is something which is, we have to meditate on, understand, okay, this is possible. So in every aspect that devotee, Vasudeva Datta, so much of, disease on his body, everything was falling out. And the bacteria which would fall down, he would pick and put them back on his body. That was his compassion towards people. So today, what is actually compassion, how we can give it to the people is, yes, how we can induce them to take up the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. So if they somehow or the other take up the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, then their life will become successful. But somehow they will make progress by getting in touch with the devotee. And so every ISKCON center is an oasis, and you're all ambassadors. We are all ambassadors of this ISKCON society. So somewhere or the other, if you take that humble position and try to preach, 100% will be successful. So for that, it is necessary we time and again come together. That Vaishnava association is very, very important. Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha. So your association with the devotees is the greatest boon what we give to ourselves. An opportunity for us to serve that kind of a person and gain knowledge. So as Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Shine Punye Mrityu Lokam Vishanti. We have come all this time with this punya. Finally, we have got a human birth. But even human birth, now we have come to Krishna consciousness. So that means there is no look back for us. Yes, you have to look back and take more people with us to go back. So that is the humble. So we may have to take a little endeavor of the quality time what we spend, maybe a little amount of money we spend, maybe a little amount of controlling ourselves. Somebody abuses in such a way that, but still you stand there trying to explain about our movement. So when you start working on those directions, then naturally all the qualities what is deserved for a pure devotee manifests. That is what Srila Prabhupada is talking about. So the more and more we get involved in this movement's progress, we take part, the amount of the Sukruti what we get is unimaginable. So just a glimpse of the when Srila Prabhupada's we just look at his 2 heart attacks. So on the 19th of August 1965, when the ship arrived at Colombo, Bhakti Vedanta Swami was able to get some relief from his sickness. The captain took him to shore and he traveled around Colombo by car. Then the ship went towards Cochin on the west coast of India. Janmashtami, appearance day of Lord Krishna, fell on the 20th August of that year. Bhaktivedanta Swami took the opportunity to speak to the crew about the philosophy of Krishna, and he distributed prasadam, and which he had cooked himself. On August 21st was his 70th birthday, observed without any ceremony at the sea. The same day, ship arrived at Cochin and Bhaktivedanta Swami, trunks of Srimad Bhagavatam, which was shipped, were boarded. By the 23rd, the ship had put on the Red Sea, where Bhaktivedanta Swami encountered great difficulty. He noted in his diary, rain, seasickness, dizziness, headache, and no appetite, vomiting. The symptom persisted, but it was more than sickness. The pain in his chest made him think he would die at any moment. In 2 days, he suffered 2 heart attacks. He tolerated the difficulty, meditating in the purpose of his mission. And after 2 days of such violent attacks, he thought if there was another one, he would certainly not survive. So in this way, we may not get heart attacks, but we will have material impediments which attacks us time and again. So the determination matters for all of us. Every devotee's life, exalted life, if you study, somewhere or the other, they have come to Krishna consciousness, for somebody has come in touch with them. So their life is no easy. Any moment any devotee is coming into Krishna conscious life, it's not that everything is okay, smooth, now no problem. Yes, on the spiritual aspect, it is smooth. But materially, where we are connected with so many responsibilities, will be bothering us now and then. But whether it is material problems or whether it is spiritual problems are problems which you have to face, which we have to face. It is not that today I have got some fever. We take some medicine. So we try to overcome it. In the same way, when spirituality, when we are growing, the humility aspect, the tolerance aspect, Lord Chaitanya is talking about Tranadapi Sunichena Taropi Saishna Manena Manadina Kirtani Narahari. So many qualities Lord Chaitanya is telling that we have to cultivate these things. So that is our endeavor. When we are trying to overcome those anarthas, which is just opposite. So humility opposite is that pride. The pride can be subtle. The pride can be gross. What is subtle pride is, in the sense, we are taking the responsibility of the people around us naturally. So it is not with the ego you are taking that, but you are taking it as naturally. Oh, they are dependent on me. But still, that is also a kind of illusion. So how to overcome that? So by constant working on these aspects, let us talk about humility. Let us talk about tolerance. Just go through so many pastimes of that which come across the humility. The more we meditate on that, then the strength comes. Same thing happens with tolerance. Same thing happens with anger. Same thing. So every activity, every of these qualities has a positive aspect, as a negative aspect. How you can use your anger for what? How is your passion for what? how you can use all these aspects. There's a positive aspects which you can think of. But when you're going through this journey, you set your goal to going back to Godhead. You have intermediary goals to go back to Godhead. But here is a spiritual master. We have to serve his mission because he is promising you, I have a backdoor entry. Well, actually, Prabhupada has a front door entry also. So when we know that Srila Prabhupada is going to take us back to Godhead, so in this endeavor, a little contribution of ours, but that contribution should go with humility, humbleness, tolerance, all this. Then gradually you can see there is a transformation within oneself. So, my dear friends, you have come across so many devotees in your life. Just remember each one of them, how much they have gone through. Ask them their journey. You can see all of them have gone through the same way we are. But by Krishna's mercy, we are still remaining in Krishna consciousness. So in the present world, today just going through the news of the Iraq, Israel situation. Our devotees were there. Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj was there. Today, later we can make out that from that I came to know everybody is safe. They have come out and devotees are all safe. Not necessary. Some devotee may leave also. But a devotee, whether he leaves the planet or he is in the planet, for him it is seva. But now we are very conscious. So, and we know that Krishna consciousness is only a relief for oneself and to the world. So in this process also some upakara, paro paro upakara, if you take up that mode, gradually in this, we will succeed in complementing Srila Prabhupada's or his movement to grow. So this mission of Srila Prabhupada is very, very dear to Krishna and dear to all the people who have brought us to Krishna consciousness. And this is the legacy we have to see that in future we have to give to. So a great opportunity lies for all of us by understanding the mood of Prabhupada, understanding the mood of Lord Chaitanya, understanding the mood of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, understanding the pastimes of all this. Naturally, our internal consciousness becomes stronger and stronger. Just like Parikshit Maharaj surrendered to Sukadeva Maharaj, exalted king. 7 days he could have counteracted. He was such a pure devotee. He was in the womb itself, he had seen Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna. He could have counteracted, but nevertheless he accepted that he is going to die. But he took the remedy of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from a pure devotee. So for us, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, every day you are doing. So what else we want? Every day we are having this, we are studying. So compassion is right there in our door front of our mind. We have to just open the door and subject yourself a few moments, a few minutes, and make life a success. So I thank you very much, Hare Krishna, for giving me this opportunity. The more and more we decide, we talk about this, the more we benefit. And let's all, in this journey of let's all stay together, help each other, appreciate each other, eat together, live together consciously, and make sure other people, make some space for other people to join us. Because that is what is required. Para dukha dukhi. So it's a great opportunity for all of us. I wish you all best of luck. And I'm also seeking all your, whatever blessings you give so that I also continue in this journey and try to help many, many devotees in the future to come. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you for a wonderful message and also sharing the mood of Prabhupada and how actually we should be um, in line with the Guru Parampara and understand the mood of Prabhupada and our Acharyas so that we can actually follow their mission better for the future generation. And I think you highlight a couple of very, very important qualities that we need to develop in the progress of this path: humility and tolerance. And also you mentioned, Prabhupada's life, is synonymous to the word determination. Prabhupada was always determined throughout the life. I think that's some very important for us to see and observe and see how we can develop that in our life. Thank you, Prabhuji. I opened the line for devotees to share their reflections, comments, or questions that you may have, please. You can unmute your mic and speak up.
Hare Krishna Babaji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
Thank you, Prabhu, sharing. 1 second. Thank you for sharing wonderful, especially imbibe the qualities of Srila Prabhupada. That's, I think, I should at least try to imbibe in my life. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for, what really struck me as a message was in terms of being the ambassador of Prabhupada. I think with the new temple opening, I think it's all the more important that we really, it's an opportunity to actually demonstrate how we can actually put across the mood of Prabhupada and welcoming everybody with all compassion. Thank you, Prabhu.
Actually, ambassadors of the spiritual world. That's how it is defined.
Yeah, but then we can at least connect with, Prabhupada, yes, how he has lived through. It's easy to relate to a person who has led by example. It's easier.
So ISKCON is that spiritual world Srila Prabhupada brought from Vaikuntha, from Goloka Vrindavan. So now when we are a part of it, naturally you have to be an ambassador.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Dandavat.
He rightly said, no, Prabhu, you catch word of my dhoti, I will take you back home, back to Godhead.
Sure. Yes. But you can also you can come from front also.
Yes.
In the endeavor of the sadhana bhakti, there is always some difficulty comes up. So that was the mood of Srila Prabhupada when he was talking about 64 rounds, 32 rounds, and 16 rounds. So he was just testing the spirit of the devotees. And such a knowledgeable person, Srila Prabhupada, who could foresee how Kali Yuga, how they would take to sadhana bhakti or austerities. Straight away from 64 rounds, he brought to 16 rounds. You could see his that itself, such an intelligent person, how he could understand that the present situation, they will not be able to chant 64 rounds. So, but the backdoor entry is this, to understand that from 64 round, he brought it to 16 rounds. You understand? So that is what he is doubting. So backdoor entry is that we can sit quiet, but that is a proper understanding would be is he simplified many things in sadhana bhakti in this journey, so that he lifted from the back. Come on, I'm there to push you. So that was what I had understood by this.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, why it is multiples of 16? Because most of the Puranas are 18, everything 18, it comes. Why it is 16? Somebody was asking the question. I said, I don't know. I'll have to find out why it is 16.
Well, I also don't know. Our Guru Maharaj said chant 16 rounds. Yes. So it is all coming in terms of multiples. So that could be one reason. But I'm not, I don't have much knowledge about this. In fact, I didn't even think about this as you're telling me now.
Yes. When the person asked, even I thought I'll ask. So you are the right person. So I asked you, Prabhu.
So I'm the wrong person now.
Mahamantra is also 16 worded. So this is 16 correlation is there.
Yes,
Actually.
so you can correlate with many things.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the class, Prabhu. I have one question, Prabhuji. Though, we keep hearing about all this, Vaishnava etiquette that we need to develop among ourselves, and also we are doing devotional service. But every now and then, some of the anarthas keep cropping up in me, and how to, address this, Prabhuji. I think that's very important. Yes, Prabhuji.
These anarthas, when they crop up, it is an opportunity for us to, overcome it every time. So that's why even in the Shastra is talking about prashchita and the paschatapa. It is not that it does not happen to everyone. Everybody undergoes this process of some anarthas being there. So, in this journey, nobody can claim, okay, I'm free from all this. So it is there. But when you make an endeavor, when this anartha comes, when you make an endeavor to see that you don't repeat it again, itself qualifies you that you're trying to overcome it. But because of our jada sharira or jada, these anarthas, which is accumulated for so many lives, millions of lives. So just to, download everything just like that, it's not going to be easy. It takes time. But nevertheless, when you're reading Bhagavad Gita, some slokas are very, very important for you to meditate when these things happen. Just like when you say Manushanam Sahasreshu Sadharvi. So when you go on thinking about that sloka more and more, then you have to remind yourself, oh, so many lifetimes I have taken. Now I have taken birth of human being. So when you start meditating on this, then slowly that goes. But anything without endeavor, it is not going to be a smooth passage. Whenever a mistake is done, not necessarily you have to do a mistake, somebody else does also, you can apply it there and see, oh, he did this mistake, I should not be doing. So the life of a human being is a constant eye-opening journey. The moment you close your mind, you will fall off. So the knowledge of that is coming from the Guru is very, very internal. When you are glorifying the spiritual master, that is very, very important that he is giving the knowledge. So knowledge, which is the eyesight of the Shastra. So when you are seeing around the world people making mistakes, people making very good things, all this should start, working on our mind. Because you can always discriminate which is good, which is bad. Suppose you are, as a judge, you are outside. You can easily, between two people, you can try to decide who is wrong, who is right. But when you have to decide about yourself, it's not going to be easy because you will go on an ego trip. You will always think I'm the best person. But then what is the use of studying the Shastra? What is the use of taking the association of devotees? If you are taking, that will actually counteract your anarthas to go away. That is why sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. Lord Chaitanya emphasizing on that. So if repeatedly some anarthas keeps coming, that means if you are cognizant of these comings, that means your endeavor to overcome is itself is a credit for us. So there are, when Krishna gave Shishupala, I will give you 100 chances you go on making offenses. 101 time, I will not be able. So when Krishna was tolerating 100 times, in the same way you have to tolerate yourself, but at the same time you have to acknowledge this fact that you have to overcome this. You can't go on making the same mistake again and again, probably. I'm talking about anartha. They keep popping out because that's the quality of Kali Yuga. It keeps coming up. Then you have to shut it down, push it back. Sometimes it overcomes us. Sometimes you can overcome. The more and more. So the Krishna clearly explains to Arjuna, by practice we can overcome this. So because Guru's mercy is there on us, there is a chance for us to overcome this because he is giving, he is holding our hand. So we are all holding the hand of Srila Prabhupada's this parampara. Don't worry. Just go on with the sadhana bhakti. Some anartha may come. Don't worry, you will overcome it. The moment you repent, I made a mistake, that itself is a leap jump. But again, you're making the same mistake. The third time, the fourth time, there is some problem with us. So human life is to traverse towards the perfection. And your perfection will come only when you are going, following a perfect spiritual master. So in this journey, you have to shed your ego. You have to shed all these qualities which determine going backwards. So position, money, what do you say? All these factors actually agitate us. When we are in position, it will not allow us to become humble. When we are rich, it will never give us the taste of the poorness, even though one day you are poor. So like that, when you have so much of knowledge, it will not make you humble. So all this is a counterproductive stuff. Even in Krishna consciousness, we can go for a trip. That is why when we are associating with spiritual masters and the society by and large, it will help us to, somewhere or the other, somebody will educate us that, okay, this is what it is. So you will be never let off, because our circle of devotees is so strong where Prabhupada is created. Never leave this atmosphere. That's why Srila Prabhupada said, never leave this moment, he says. Never leave ISKCON. And at another place, Srila Prabhupada says, even one person, if he leaves ISKCON, I'm sure he will come back, he said. So these are the verdict of Srila Prabhupada's court. So you will just have to go by that. But whenever you make a mistake, look at that aspect, how next time you won't make the same mistake. Again, when you make the same mistake again, you have 3 chances. The third one means there's something wrong. So at that time, better to approach another senior devotee or a person who's confident. You can go and tell, my dear friend, every time making the same mistake, how can I overcome this? I will tell you, there are wonderful devotees in ISKCON. Somebody or the other will save us. I have 100% guarantee with this.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for that practical insight. Thank you, Prabhu. There are a couple of comments. Go ahead, Prabhuji. Sri Balaji Prabhu, please go ahead, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the reminder and the hope-giving class also. Both balanced nicely, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the question I have was during our temple opening, when there were some sevas that were needed. I saw that when I was requesting devotee, I saw that there is a varied level of seva bhav, different proportion of seva bhav in devotees. So the question was, Prabhuji, how do we understand this and how do we help them, Prabhuji, to get to a certain level where we can increase and improve the seva bhav?
So this is, you can take the example of a student in different classes, first standard, second standard, third standard, fourth standard. So this sadhana bhakti also depends on how much the devotee is associating and making progress. Well, this cannot be substantiated by somebody getting diksha. Well, externally, these things can be monitored, but internally only by practice, how much he is, addicted to taking association of devotees and how much he is working on himself to make a better person. But that doesn't conclude that, okay, this guy is not going to make progress. They will make progress. But here you're talking about the managerial issues. Certainly 100% will make mistakes because we will immediately judge somebody. But we don't know how much of that they are making progress in Krishna consciousness. The example of Nityananda Prabhu's with Madai is the best example. He is a person who has done everything, but Nityananda wanted to forgive him. So as a manager, as a person whom you are trying to give some service, when you see the variegatedness of different level, then we can only think, yes, he has to become more matured enough, more he has to understand. So like that, in that way, you can make some kind of an assessment. But even that the point which highlighted that Swalpam is a very, very important in Krishna consciousness. That little what he wants to do. Suppose he, let us say 4 hours he is coming for service, let us assuming. He may come only for 4 minutes. But you should evaluate that 4 minutes, not that 4 hours minus that 4 minutes. Because this is what the level of consciousness, how we progress in Krishna consciousness. We cannot determine how they are. Sometimes extraordinary devotees, we think. Sometimes they may do certain things which, it may perplex us. So, especially in terms of management, when you are giving sevas, I can watch you many, many things. But if I'm going to talk about what 100% I'm getting from one person and he gives, let us say 5%, what will be my situation? So dependent on Guru's mercy and forgiving a person that he's not able to do and looking for something else is the progress in our devotional service. We never should fall a trap into this kind of an assessment. Sometimes it does come, but we cannot help. That is why we have Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Bhai. All this is a realization, not an academic interest. When you're looking at nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion, it is nothing but talking about how to carve oneself for a better human being. So if we don't do that, it's going to take time. So a person one day who is following you someday will take up those things, is it not? So the children who are in our house, they will someday looking at a father's quality, mother's quality, the teacher's quality. This is all very observed by children. So do not worry. In this progress of devotional service, one person doesn't come, somebody else will come. Like Srila Prabhupada was in America trying to get all his godbrothers to, help him in his mission, but nobody came. But nevertheless, Krishna sent all the Americans there to help him out. Today we are there because of that. But look at the mood of Srila Prabhupada. Oh, Krishna had a different plans. So we appreciate the amount of seva they do. That's enough. I mean, they're not able to do it, doesn't matter. We can pray for them. I don't know, in the short time I gave you some things, but this is a chapter. I mean, this is something which everybody will experience as we take a position in ISKCON or even in preaching.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Though, I mean, it's not a short answer, but there are so many things you said, Prabhuji. No, don't be judgmental. Appreciate. No, really. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I just want to read a couple of feedback from Mataji's. Prem Priya Mataji has shared that Hare Krishna Prabhu, for everything, every time inspiring us with your practical class and time and again, reminding us about developing Vaishnava qualities within us. It was from Prem Priya Mataji. And Saraswati Mataji, Dr. Saraswati Mataji has mentioned, Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, thanks for the wonderful narration and teachings of Srila Prabhupada. And then Uttara Mataji, Dr. Uttara Mataji has mentioned, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, thank you for the wonderful class. These are all the comments. Are there any one final question or comment from any other devotees?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Sachidananda Prabhu, Hari Hari.
Haribo, Haribo, Dandavat Pranam. So nice, wonderful, instructive class, Prabhuji. I just compare the analogy. Recently, ISRO launched Chandrayaan mission. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada launched Golakayan mission. So he wants to take every one of us to Golaka Vrindavan. So each and every ISKCON temple is a lander. Like in Chandrayaan mission, there was a lander, Vikram lander. So each and every ISKCON temple is a lander. So you are like a rover, checking the possibility to connect every one of us to the mission of Srila Prabhupada is really great, Prabhuji. I really inspired by your behavior, by your determination to the mission. I really appreciate, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavandi ki
Jai. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, devotees. I'll be ending the Zoom session. We will meet again tomorrow morning, Krishna. Hare Krishna.